Hello, friends, and welcome to today's practice. Today's practice is called Moving Inward, and this sequence is in honor of the gradual transition from the summer into the fall. I love the warm temperatures, the activity, and the freedom that the summer season offers. But I do find that near the end of August and the beginning of September, that I'm really longing for more routine and regularity in my own life. Seasonal junctions are a beautiful opportunity to slow down. They offer us an opportunity for contemplation and reflection. And today's practice is all about honoring this shift, the shift from the heat and activity of the summer into the shorter days and the cooler temperatures that the fall season offers. So let's begin seated. So I recommend elevating the pelvis up onto a bolster or a folded blanket or two. And you can place your hands right in the center of your thighs with your palms facing down to the thighs. You can take a downward gaze or softly close the eyes. The act of the downward gaze or the closure of the eyes already is a symbol of drawing greater awareness to the inner body. Create a sensation of length in the spinal column. Relax the shoulders down the back. And notice the feeling of your breath. A sensation of release and letting go as you exhale. And the feeling of nourishment, and space, expansion as you breathe in. Take another cycle of breath here. And then keeping the eyes closed or the soft downward gaze, we'll just move the hands. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Feeling the connection of the hands to the body. It's an opportunity to pause, opportunity for inquiry. What does your body need in order to move through this seasonal shift with greater ease? Take your last exhalation here. Allow your hands to release and your eyes to softly open. We're going to begin here with some half wide angle with some side bends. So you can stay up on your bolster or your folded blanket. You're just going to simply extend this left leg out, keeping the right knee bent so you're in half wide angle. And to take a breath in and send your arms up by your ears and just give a little gentle press out through the left heel. Soften your shoulders just a bit. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, your left hand can come down behind the left leg. And you're just going to arc over. Sometimes it feels really good to me just to even soften up in the left knee just a bit. And as you take your next breath in, you're going to flow through the center, and we're going to tilt the body the opposite direction. So, right hand coming down, left arm reaching by the ear, creating space in the left lower back, and then just flowing back and forth, folding over the left leg, and then moving the body to the right. And just do that a few times. Just feeling the graceful flow of your body from side to side, creating more space in the lower back, up through the ribs, up through the underarms as you flow from side to side. All right, we'll take this last one, leaning off to the right. And then you're going to come to the center, both arms stretch up, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to let your arms open out to the side. Just pause when the arms are parallel to the floor. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you can begin to bring the arms toward one another. And this left arm is going to cross on top of the right arm. And then we're going to wrap the hands around to the shoulders. This motion called an eagle hug. And if that doesn't work well for your body, you can take your hands in front of your heart with the left arm on top. So either way works really well. Take your chin and bring it slightly below parallel to the floor. So you're just creating a little more awareness of the breath at the back of the throat as you take that slight chin dip. See if you can send the breath right into the space between the shoulder blades. Breathe in. Let's send those arms back out to the side. Exhale, lower the hands. Just fold that left leg back in. We're going to do one round of cat cow here. So as you breathe in, you can take your hands on your knees, and your hands will start to slide up the thighs toward the hips as your heart draws through. And then as you exhale, slide the hands back down the thighs toward the knees as you tuck the tailbone and draw your shoulder blades apart. Inhale as you find your way to neutral spine. Second side. So you're going to take this right leg and extend it out in that half wide angle. Take your breath in, extend your arms up by the sides of the face. Feel the sitting bones ground down into your blanket or your bolster. Relax your shoulders a bit. Breathe in. Exhale, right hand coming down as you lean over. And remember, if there's a lot of sensation at the back of the knee, just kind of soften that knee up a bit. Press through the right heel. And then you're going to flow through the center and lean to the left. And then you're just going to create this smooth movement from side to side. Feeling the body almost like the branches of a tree, just gracefully flowing from side to side, moving gracefully through the shifts, transitions, and changes. Okay, we'll go this last time, leaning over to the left. Then you're going to come up through the center, reach your arms up by your ears. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bring your arms out to parallel the floor. Breathe in here, and as you exhale, start to bring the arms toward one another. This time, the right arm is going to cross on top. So you can take the hands back to opposite shoulder blades. Feel the shoulder blades draw apart. Remember that if that doesn't work well for your body, just cross the arms in front of the heart with the right forearm on top of the left. Slightly dip the chin down. Take another breath here. Breathe in. Let's let the arms re-extend out from the heart. Exhale, lower the hands down. Lean into the hands. Let's take one more cat-cow. Refold that right knee in. Place the hands on the knees. And then inhale, slide the hands up the thighs toward the hip creases. Roll to the front of the sitting bones and let your heart draw through. Exhale as you slide your hands down toward your knees. Draw your tailbone under and draw your shoulder blades apart. Breathe in, come to the center. One more movement here before we transition. Just take a breath in. Sweep the arms up. Bring the arms by the sides of the face and interlock the hands. Send the index fingers up toward the sky and pause there. The biceps will have this sensation of drawing in toward the ears. Low front floating ribs, draw slightly together. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, sweep your arms wide and back down. Let your fingerprints touch the mat. So you want to press into the fingerprints and almost feel like the center of your palm lifts a little more away from the floor. So feeling the hands activate into the earth energy. Okay. Let's slowly release the hands, open the eyes, and let's transition to the table. Just move your extra blanket or your bolster out to the side, blocks to the front, short side of the mat. As you come to the table, you're going to breathe in, release your belly down to the mat, lift up through your heart. As you exhale, begin to curl your toes under, and then we're going to take the pelvis and move the pelvis toward the heels. So child's pose with that yogi toe stretch. Breathe in, rock the pelvis back up, uncurl the toes, release the belly and lift the heart. Cow tilt in the spine. Exhale, curl the toes and then let the pelvis once again release toward the heels. Let's do that again. Inhale, rock the pelvis up, uncurl the toes, release the belly and lift the heart. Exhale, curl the toes and move the pelvis back. Now, a couple options here. One is to stay in child's pose, but uncurl the toes. So especially if this is a lot of pressure in the feet or feels really uncomfortable, you could uncurl the toes. You could stay right as you are in child's pose with the yogi toe stretch. You could also walk the hands in and bring the body up into this version of hero with the toes curled under. You could stay right there, interlock your hands behind the low back, draw the tailbone slightly down, energize the palms of the hands toward one another, and steady the gaze. Choosing the option that honors where your body happens to be during this particular practice. The body is always changing, and each time we come to our mat, it's an opportunity to check in with the needs of the body. Breathe in here. Okay, exhale, slowly release the hands. Let's flow back through the table, uncurl those toes. Take a breath in, release the belly and lift the heart. And then exhale, we're going to curl the toes under, coming into the first downward facing dog. So lift the knees, reach the sitting bones nice and high, and then walking out a bit through the knees and the feet. Just taking some time here to stretch through the calves. Time on our mat can help to increase our sensitivity and our awareness of what's happening in the body. This is really only the the only way to really find balance in the body is by first becoming more aware of what's actually going on in the body or in the mind. Knowing your starting place is what allows you to then take action to cultivate overall health and well being. All right, pause, take a breath. All right, let's look up to the hands. Let's begin to step the feet forward, coming into forward fold. You're going to let your feet land underneath of your hips, as kind of softening your knees a bit. Breathe in, take a halfway lift with the spine. And then as you exhale, fold into the legs. Breathe in, soften the knees, reverse your swan dive, rise up. Exhale, let your prayer hands come together, and then slide your prayer hands down into your heart. Inhale, circle sweep the arms wide and up. Come into that extended mountain. Prayer hands coming together through the heart as you bend your knees and fold the body forward back into the legs. Release and relax your head. Inhale, take a halfway lift with the spine. And then as you're exhaling, you can take your blocks. If you're using them, frame your right foot, step your left foot back so you're in a high lunge. Right knee is over the right ankle. We're going to inhale and start to rise up with the body coming into high lunge. You're going to take a breath in here. As you exhale, we're going to take the arms into cactus arms and straighten the right knee. And then as you breathe in, we're going to go back into that high lunge. Re-extend the arms. Re-bend the right knee. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, bend the elbows. Steady the gaze, straighten the right knee. Inhale to rebend. 1 more time. Exhale. And inhale. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, let your hands come down. Frame your right foot. Let your left hand stay on the block or the mat. We're going to take a twist. So right hand to the hip, or reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Revolved high lunge. I usually like to focus on turning the heart to the right, but I love looking down at the left hand. I find that action to be really grounding. It usually feels a lot better on my neck and head. Go ahead, take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down, spin your left heel down. Now before you come up, take one of those blocks, maybe on its highest height, line it up with the inner right heel, inner right ankle. We're gonna come up first through warrior 2. So left arm's gonna sweep up, turn your body to face the left long side of the mat. You're going to start to straighten your right knee, and this back left foot, you can heel toe it in maybe just an inch or 2. Now to transition into triangle, I usually like to soften just a bit in the right knee as I start to lean to the right, to the front of the mat and then toward that right leg. So the hand could land on the block or your shin. You can send that left arm up momentarily to the sky. Now you do have the option, you could stay there with the left arm, or you could take that arm and sweep it behind the low back, creating a little half bind so that the knuckle side of the left hand kind of snuggles around your right hip. Be really mindful of the front of the left shoulder, so the space right through here. If there's any discomfort or pain, taking the hand to the hip is a better option. Let's take another cycle of breath here. If the left arm is wound around the back or hand to hip, let's take a second and breathe in and re-extend that left arm up to the sky. And then exhale, start to rebend your right knee. Let's spin off of the back left heel. You're going to move those blocks forward, press off the left foot, take a breath in, take halfway lift with the spine. I'm just going to move right into the second side here. So as you exhale, frame your left foot, step your right foot back. You're in high lunge. Steady the legs and start to breathe in, rise up with the body, and extend your arms by the sides of the face. Take a steady gaze with the eyes. That will help with the balance as we bring some movement into this pose. So breathe in here, and then as you exhale, let your elbows bend. You're going to begin to straighten your left knee. And then as you inhale, re-extend the arms and bend your left knee 2 more times. Exhale. cactus arms. Straighten the left knee. Inhale to rebend. Exhale. And then breathe in. High lunge. Fingertips reaching up to the sky. Tailbone slightly drawing down. Exhale. Frame your left foot. Right hand on the floor or the block. Left hand to the hip or sweep it up to the sky. Revolves high lunge. So sometimes this left hip can swing out to the left. So you want to draw the left sitting bone in toward the body. Turn through the belly, the ribs, and the heart, and maybe turn the gaze down toward your right hand. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, bring your left hand down, spin your right heel down, but before you come up, one block to the inner left heel, maybe on its highest height. Breathe in, transition, warrior two. Turning the chest toward the right long side of the mat. Now as you straighten your left knee, just make one small adjustment with that back right foot, just a heel toe in 1 or 2 inches. Now soften that left knee, breathe in, and then reach the left fingertips toward the front of the room, and then start to bring the left hand down to the block or the shin bones. Press into the left foot. You can bring your left knee more towards straight, so right hand might sweep up to the sky for a moment. And then you can decide to keep it there or right hand to the right hip or snuggling that right arm around the low back, knuckle side of the right hand, coming around toward the left hip. Lots of mindfulness of the front of the right shoulder. Any discomfort or pain in that region, right hand can come back to the hip. So you might look down at your left hand. Lengthen through the tailbone, draw the low belly in, breathe in and out here. And you're gonna slowly unwind that right arm from behind the back. Breathe in, re-extend the right arm up to the sky. And then exhale as you start to rebend your left knee, frame the left foot, and spin off of your right heel. Now take the blocks, move them out to the side. We're gonna bring that left foot back, downward facing dog. So move your toes back maybe an inch or two, and then as you take your next inhalation, lift your heels nice and high. Feel the light lift of the sitting bones up, and we'll begin to roll the pelvis forward, coming out into a high plank shape. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your knees to the mat and then press your pelvis back toward child's pose. Activating the hands into the earth. Breathe in, rock back up, table, curl the toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Maybe inch the toes back 1 or 2 inches, lift your heels, and begin to roll your pelvis forward, come out into plank. Exhale, child's pose, knees down, pelvis to heels, fold into the thighs. Breathe in, rock the pelvis back up, curl the toes, lift the sitting bones to sky, downward dog. We'll switch it up this time, so maybe move the toes back an inch or two, come forward out into plank. Now your knees can remain lifted, or you can take your knees down into the knee down plank. We're going to come down to the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower down to the chest and ribs. We're going to slide those elbows underneath of the shoulders, coming into Sphinx. Now, a great alternative for this that's not quite as high is to stack the palms and take the elbows out wide to the sides of the mat. So that's a great option for a back bend that's not quite as intense as elbows directly underneath of the shoulders. So choose the option that works best. Feel all of the points of contact between your body and the earth. Let your heart draw through, breathe in. Exhale. Let's let those elbows go out wide if they're not already. Stack your palms and let your body fold into the earth. And kind of sway out the pelvis from side to side. Okay, and then let's slide the hands underneath of the low chest. I'm going to curl the toes under. You can press up to table, knee down plank, or plank. You'll breathe in and rise up to one of those poses, and then exhale, move into downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath here. Last cycle of breath here. I begin to lift the heels and look forward to the space between the hands and take a few small steps or a big step with each foot, even a light hop. We just transition back into forward fold. Fold in, bend your knees so you can feel the front of your body sandwich in toward your thighs for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift. Slide the hands up on your shins. Draw your shoulder blades down the back, and then exhale, fold back into the legs. Maybe even hands to the backs of the ankles, forearms wrapping around to the backs of the calves. Again, just bend the knees. Now here we're going to be adjusting the blacks forward. We're going to take a standing split. Just want to warm up the backs of the legs a little bit more. So you're going to start to transition into the right foot. Send your left leg up and back behind you, a version of standing split. Now as you exhale, both knees will bend. This bent left knee will hook behind the right, and you'll take a version of a squat with legs crossed. And then you'll inhale, re-extend that left heel back up into that standing split. Exhale, bend both knees, hook that left knee behind the right, dip the pelvis down. Inhale as you re-extend the left leg back up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, hook the left knee behind the right. Inhale as you extend the left heel back up. Now we're going to hold for a moment in standing split. So you can bend a bit in your right knee if needed. So if the pull across the back of the right leg is pretty intense, soften that right knee a bit. Both hands could stay on the block, so you could take one hand or both hands around your right ankle, calf. A little extra balance challenge. Breathe in. As you're exhaling, slowly letting the hands come down. Let your left foot come down. Take a halfway lift. Stay in that halfway lift. Slide your hands up to your hips, elbows pull to sky. Breathe in, rising up. Mountain. Reach your arms by your ears. Exhale, prayer hands together and prayer hands into the heart. Take a moment here. Breathe in, circle sweep your arms wide and up. Prayer hands through the heart, bend the knees, and fold the body forward into the legs. Take a breath in, halfway lift with the spine, and exhale, fold into the legs. Now we're going to transition the weight into the left foot. Hands on the blocks or hands on the mat. That right heel is going to reach back behind you. So we're going to come into that standing split flow. So take a nice big breath in here. And then as you exhale, bend both knees, hook the right knee behind the left as you take that cross leg squat. And then take your breath in and re-extend the right leg back into that standing split. Again, exhale, both knees bend. The right knee hooks behind the left. Lower the pelvis down. And one more time, that same flow. Breathe in, go back into standing split. And then exhale, hook the right knee behind the left. Dip the pelvis down. And then we'll go back to standing split for the longer hold now. So re-extend through the right leg. Really reach through the back of the right knee. And feel free, you can always soften in the left knee. You don't have to keep the left knee all the way straight. Both hands to the blocks or the floor. One hand or both hand around the left ankle calf for a little extra balance challenge. Okay, take a breath in. And then as you're exhaling, slowly finding the hands back down on the mat or the blocks. Release the right foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. So slide the hands up to the shins. Press the shins into the hands. Draw the shoulders down the back. Bend the knees a bit. Slide the hands the rest of the way up to the hips. Press down and unhinge your body so you come up. Shoulders over hips, fingertips stretch high. This time, let your arms go out nice and wide. Bring your hands to your low back. Take a standing back bend, so draw your elbows toward one another. Press the heels of the hands into the low back. And then shoulders over hips. Reach your arms down by your sides. Mountain pose. Take another breath or two here. We're going to move into a balance series here. So we're going to place the weight into the right foot. Prayer hands can come together at the heart as you lift your left foot up into stork pose. So you want to draw the tailbone down. So you want to avoid letting the pose go into the lower back. So really cinch the lower ribs, front lower ribs together. Gonna take the arms straight out from the heart. So the arms will be parallel to the floor. We're gonna come into eagle arms with the left arm on top. So remember those versions of the arms that we did at the beginning. So you can choose the crossed arms at the heart or the eagle hug, or take the eagle arms here. You're going to start to bend in the right knee and take eagle legs by wrapping that left leg around the right and sitting the pelvis back into that chair. Now from this pose, in a moment, we're going to transition into more of a warrior three, possibly with the arms still crossed in the eagle arms. Now you can always take another version. Prayer hands to heart is a pretty gentle version, or arms by the sides of the face is also fine. So we can start to unwind that left leg. Bring the left leg up and the torso down. So you're aiming to be about parallel to the floor with the left leg and the torso. You're going to come into high lunge from here. So bend your right knee, reach that left foot back. High lunge, unwind the arms, send the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, frame the right foot, step the right foot back, down dog. From there, shift into the left foot. Inhale, send your right heel up into down dog split, twisted three-leg dog, bend the right knee and turn it open. Draw the lower belly in. Take a breath in here. And on your next exhale, lower the right foot down. Take a breath in, and out. Okay, breathe in, start to lift the heels, look forward. You can bend the knees, walk, or lightly hop the feet up to the front of the mat. Take a halfway lift of the spine. Exhale, fold into the legs. Inhale, bend the knees, reverse the swan dive. Again, keep the arms extended, but let those arms go out wide. Let the heels of the hands come to the low back. Standing back bend, lift the heart, draw the elbows toward one another. And then return to mountain. Shoulders over hips, arms extending down. Balance flow second side. Prayer hands come together at the heart. Shift into the left foot. Right foot's going to lift to stork. Lengthen the tailbone down, draw the lower belly in. Send the arms out from the heart. Arms are parallel to the floor. Let's bring the arms into eagle arms. So right arm's going to cross on top and wrap the arms around the chest, or take the wind of the arms and maybe hands. Breathe in. As you exhale, begin to bend the knee and cross the right leg over the left as you sit the pelvis back into that chair shape. So remember, we're going to be transitioning into warrior three from here with the arms possibly crossed. Prayer hands at heart or arms extended by ears are two other really great options. So as you breathe in, start to unwind that right leg. You're going to bring the right leg about parallel to the floor. Bring the body about parallel to the floor. Remember, you can soften a bit in the left leg. Okay, breathe in. Let's start to reach that right foot back. Come into high lunge. Inhale, send your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, frame your left foot. Step your left foot back into down dog. As you come back, keep the weight into the right ball of the foot. Send the left heel nice and high. Twisted three-leg dog. Bend your left knee. Turn it open. Okay, take a breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower that left foot back down. Take a breath in through your nose and exhale, sigh it out. And lift your heels, maybe step your toes an inch or two farther back. Breathe in, roll your pelvis out into plank. Knees up or down. Let's exhale, bend the elbows. Come back down to the floor. One more Sphinx. So possibly sliding your elbows beneath your shoulders, forearms running parallel, or remember, maybe stack your palms and take your elbows out a little wider. Press into the tops of your feet. Lengthen your tailbone down toward the space between the heels. Feel the points of contact between your body and the earth. Breathe in, and then as you exhale, stack your palms, let your elbows go out wide, fold in. Maybe a little pelvis sway from side to side. I love this prone shape. I find for me it has been one of the best poses to help me move my energy more inward, or to help cultivate that sense of pratyahara, this act of turning within or sense withdrawal. Take another few moments here. Just allowing yourself to really feel into the calmness and quietude that this particular shape has to offer. After the next exhalation here, you're going to slide your hands underneath of the low chest. We're going to press up. We're going to go into widening child's pose now. So knees wide, big toes closer touching. Send your pelvis back. Stretch out through your arms. We're going to walk the hands over to the right. We're going to take a side bend here. So really extend out through the left arm. You can keep your right hand to the mat with the elbow bent, or sometimes people like to keep both arms extended and even place the left hand on top of the right, as this exaggerates the opening across the back of the ribs on the left side. Might give you a stronger stretch up near your underarm or more sensation in the left shoulder. Okay, last exhale on this side, and then let's come through the center and reach over with that right arm. So left elbow might bend, plant the hand, or keep both arms straight and plant the right hand on top of the left. And last round of breath here. Okay, let's come back through the center. Relax the forearms. Let the forearms meet the mat, maybe the forehead. Okay, last round of breath here. And let's bring the body back up through the table. Let's swing the legs around. So we're going to come to a seated shape. We can bring the pelvis momentarily off the blanket, maybe fold the blanket up a time or two, or even use your bolster. You can catch hold of your yoga strap. We're going to take the legs out, straight out from the hips. So I like to have a little bit of space between my feet, pressing out through the heels. Now you can always come down onto your spine for this a similar shape. Take the legs straight up to the sky and strap the balls of the feet. Otherwise, here you can take the strap onto the balls of the feet, just like we did at the beginning in that half wide angle. You might kind of soften your knees a bit. You can hold the sides of the strap and lift the heart. So if the pelvis is super tucked or the back is rounded, you might benefit more from coming down to your spine, taking the legs straight up to the ceiling and doing the pose that way. Otherwise, you might start to lean forward. So I just like to feel the pulse of the breath and the movement of the body. You're gently settling in using that pulse of breath. So as you breathe in, you might even just lightly lift out of that forward folding shape. And then as you exhale, you can soften and release back in. Eventually, you might find a place to pause and then to emphasize the exhalation and the sinking inward. Soften your gaze. Take another few moments here. And then slowly rising back up and releasing the strap out to the side. And lean back into the hands. And just kind of let your shoulders kind of draw up toward your ears. Just a little bit of rounding in the spine. Chin releases toward the chest. All right. And then we'll start to release out of that. We'll bring the pelvis to the center and move the blanket out to the side. And I will say that a really great option for this blanket is to roll it up and to place the rolled blanket under the knees. You could use your bolster for that also. Another great alternative for the bolsters once you come down is to lay the bolster across the belly for a little extra weight. And once you come down onto your spine, after that pose, you may need a little movement before you settle into Shavasana. So maybe a knee to chest, some windshield wipers. Just moving the body a bit just to feel like you're releasing any remaining tension or constriction in the body, which will allow you to feel fully settled and relaxed in Shavasana. Last few minutes of our practice together. When you feel ready, you can take those legs out, extend them out along the mat, maybe with the support of a blanket or bolster under the knees. And if you have a bolster or sandbag, even a block, you could place it across the low belly and the hips. This little bit of extra weight encourages a deep sense of grounding. Your palms face up toward the sky. It's okay. Close your eyes and just feel your body sink and settle. feeling the support of the earth beneath you. When we practice with greater awareness of the seasonal shifts, provides us with an opportunity to remember our dependence upon the earth. Three major forms of prana or energy include the air you breathe, the water you drink, and the food that nourishes the tissues of the body, all which come from the earth. Natural rhythm of the breath will remain here for another minute or two. At your home, please feel free, stay here as long as you like. If you're ready to transition, you could first begin by breathing a little more deeply. Eventually reach down and remove the bolster, block, or blanket from across the low belly. And then allow your knees to bend so that your feet come flat. Roll over to the right or left. Press down and rise to your seat. Bring your prayer hands together at your heart as you sit tall. The light within me sees and bows to that same light that exists within you. Thank you.